And now the AI agents are doing it for me. And as Darren was saying, I've spent the last 5, 6 years educating CEOs on AI. And one of the biggest challenges is most people are not going to set up their own Claude bot. They're not going to manage a Mac Mini. They're not going to do the updates, right? They're not going to spend thousands of dollars to do that. And what Kim and the team have developed here, literally within 60 seconds to 2 minutes, you can set this thing up and the AI can start automating things for you. So I'm going to show you what I've been showing in front of the room. And I often start with this. This is the easiest way right here. I literally just go to getopperly.ai if I'm in front of the room. And I say, how many of you, I ask a question, how many of you have gotten to the point in your life where you have digital overwhelm? Type it in the chat if you do. If you've got too many emails coming in, not just from one email account, but multiple email accounts. How many of you are also having to check not just maybe one Slack, but multiple Slacks for your companies? Because we own multiple companies. How many of you got Signals and WhatsApps and Telegrams, and you've got calendars, multiple calendars? Like, this digital world is overwhelming. And of course, most of the room raises their hand. So that's the first thing I want to talk to them about is how many of you are overwhelmed with the amount of digital stuff? What if there was one workspace and one AI team that could do everything for you? So I start on this opening conversation. I say, in a second, I'm going to show you a live thing, but let me just walk you through the website real quick. You don't need 100 more AI tools because guess what? We've built them in here. The team has built this in. How many of you right now, type this in the chat, and again, I'd be doing this in front of the room. How many of you have a paid ChatGPT subscription, maybe a Claude subscription or Grok or Perplexity? You've got one of these LLMs, and then I kind of zoom in and I go, yeah, so you might be paying $20, $60, $200 a month. How many of you use something like Notion AI or Jasper for your marketing, or Superhuman to keep your inbox at zero, or Motion, or Canva Pro? How many of you have to go to Canva Pro or Gamma or something like that to create slide decks or to create pictures or to create whatever? So what a lot of people don't realize is we're hopping from one app to the next app to the next app to the next app. We have coined this term called app hopping. In the tech world, it's called context switching. And most of us are switching context hundreds of times. And let me ask you a question. Does that help us be more productive or less productive? Obvious answer, it's less productive. I say, well, what if Opperly, one AI solution could replace all of these for $50 a month? I tell them right up front, it's $50 a month. As you use it, it could go up to $200 a month as you start automating. And I'm going to show you how to do this and build agents in 60 seconds or less. It takes me longer to explain it than it does to actually build an AI team. Now, how many of you'd like to have a COO, a CMO, an executive assistant who oversees everything? Like, what would you pay for an executive assistant? And then I'm teeing this up because I will show you in a second a website called Athena.com. As a matter of fact, why don't I just do this? Why don't I go to Athena.com? Maybe some of you have heard of this website called Athena.com. If I were going to go hire a virtual assistant, and I've hired many virtual assistants, I would go to a site like this. It was mentioned on the All In podcast. And I would literally say to my assistant, hey, I'd like you to manage my email, my calendars, my prep, my travel planning, my flights, hotels, expense. Like, these are all things that need to be done, but they take my time. So I'd rather outsource that for 10, 20, $30 an hour. The problem is oftentimes I'm shipping that work to the Philippines and I have to communicate what I want. They have to get that message, interpret it, confirm that that's what I want, unless it's, an SOP that's done. And then they do the work, but that could be 12 hours, 24 hours later, right? Opperly does it all in real time. What about business operations? How many of you would like to have a VA, or better yet, an AI that does your research and your reporting? It can help you with your CRM, maybe vendor sourcing, finance, accounting, hiring support. These are all things. Now, in a second, I'm going to show you how I decided, you know what, I'm going to copy and paste this, and I'm going to go ask Opperly, how many of these things can you do for me? And how much money would you save me instead of hiring a VA? Does that sound interesting to you guys? Well, that's just one of the technologies, or one of the agents you can build. You can build a COO, a CMO, a chief marketing officer, an executive assistant. And what's cool about Opera, you'll see this in a second, is when you start talking to it, when you start texting it like you would ChatGPT or Grok or Claude or whatever, what's cool is it intelligently knows to start building a task list and a project list. And then it reminds you, hey, you've got 10 projects. Can we knock some of those off for you? It also syncs my calendar. It can do proactive outreach. It's got amazing things. So that's what I do first, everybody, as I just walk them through. And I'm like, all of these things can be replaced with one tool, one technology. So what do? We just log in. And I go right inside of it, and you'll notice the first thing that it's going to do, it's going to know where I'm at and what time of day it is. This is like me logging into my executive assistant, and you'll see in my case, it says, hey, you've got 84 priorities, 1,200 emails, and 8 events on your calendar, right? So now I can start talking to it like this. Now, since I'm doing this on a live rally, it might give us some feedback. It won't do that if I'm doing this on my phone or if I'm doing this in person. So I'm going to try it. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to tap to talk. Hey, Opperly, can you update me since I got off my flight? What's important that I should be heads up on? Now, notice what it's doing. I'm pausing, but it was reading my emails, going through my calendar, so it's updating in real time. This might be my Wi-Fi taking a little long. Yeah, so I'm interrupting it. It's got a lag here. Let me give it one more second. Opperly, can you give me an update since I last checked in? What's important that I should be heads up on? All right, there's something on my side, I think, that's causing this delay. I'm going to skip that right now. I'm just going to do it by type. Update me on what's happened since I last checked in. I think the audio when I do a display like this doesn't work. When I'm in front of the room, it seems to work pretty well. Okay, so it's checking it. Yeah, that's typical. All right, so it's giving me an update on some of the tasks, right? And some of the things that are due today. So here we go. Welcome back to the grind. Looks like you've been living a road warrior. Now, how does it know living the road warrior? Type it in the chat if you know how it knows that I've been a road warrior the last 2 weeks. Because it's read my calendar. It knows where I'm at. As a matter of fact, one of the coolest things is the other day, and I share an example like this from the front of the room. The other day, I was going from Puerto Rico, San Juan, Puerto Rico airport to, I forget what city, it might have been Tampa, or I've been in Tampa, Vegas, Dallas the last couple of days. And I was on JetBlue commercial, and I noticed, all right, they delayed it once, they delayed it twice. Yep, sure enough, they canceled it. So I pick up my phone, I book on another airline in another terminal. I go up to the front desk and I say, hey, I need you to pull my bag. I've only got an hour and a couple minutes to get to another terminal. And they're like, it's going to take 15 to 20 minutes for your bag. I walk downstairs to the bag area to grab it. As I'm doing that, keep in mind, I just booked another flight on another airline. I walk down, I pick up my phone and say, hey, Opperly, I just booked another flight on another airline. I need you to check my email, pull the confirmation code, put all the flight details into my calendar. So when I walk up, I can just literally show it at the desk. It did it perfectly, and I made my flight. So as I'm walking, I'm also getting updates like this. So it knows everything that's going on. Like right now, Opperly Blitz is live. Power is my energy company. We just launched 5.0. Travel Recap. It's looked at my United receipts and my calendar, look at my back-to-back flights, et cetera, et cetera. It knows, by the way, one of my goals, one of my projects here is to complete our financial paperwork for Act 60. So because it has intelligent memory, and I've told it my top 3 goals, for example, to help 1 million entrepreneurs become users of Opperly and AI, it knows that's my goals, and it prioritizes those things under my goals. It has intelligent memory. So it also, earlier today on my flight, I was working on an AI and thought leadership strategy. And this is something that I had it create while I was in flight today. So, it's going to start working with me to develop the core messaging around AI, develop the content pillars, target keyword research, competitive intelligence, And what you'll notice here is every conversation, it's not only helping me create these things, but it's tracking it and it's intelligently built a file system. I didn't create these files. Operaly did. My assistant created these files. So it organizes everything. Here's my Act 60 stuff. It puts everything into this folder system like it would Google Drive. But in Google Drive, you have to create it. Here, the AI creates it. All right. So another cool thing is you can use it like you would, by the way, a Chat GPT or Claude. That's what most people do. They'll talk to it or they'll type, they'll do whatever. Okay. So if I go, what are the top 3 features of Operaly for entrepreneurs? Okay. Version is ready. I'm not going to refresh it right now. Their AI is going to know everything about you. In ours, we don't pass that information through. So you have privacy. All right. So what's cool is listen to someone's in the trenches, Southern Cal market. All right, AI, task project management, what I've been talking about, smart email, triage and automation, and then semantic knowledge base and document search. What does this mean? Semantic means you don't have to tell it exactly what to look up. It kind of knows what it means. So if I were to say, hey, pull up my documents on Act 60, it's going to know what folder to go to and what to pull up automatically. I don't have to have the exact keywords like I would in other search things. Okay. Now, let me show you some other features. Yes, it's importing my emails, right? So one account or all of my accounts, which is really cool. Imagine having your AI not only read all your emails, but be able to draft responses to whatever is important. So if I were to click on one of these, and this won't have a important response because this is a newsletter. And by the way, I have it read all my newsletters, but archive them and then give me an update on what was important from my newsletters. So I don't want to miss the information, but I want to read 5 newsletter subscriptions. So right now it's creating an AI summary, so I don't have to read the whole email. And then it can even draft a reply. This one it said it couldn't read the full email, so it didn't work there. So I'll go back to the calendar. I've got all my calendars attached here. Just like my executive assistant would want to know everything that's going on in my world so it can help me change my schedule, book my flights, do things like that. The AI has to do the same thing. It wants to know it. All right. So let me show you how easy it is to get this set up. Because the first thing people do is they set up their account and then they want to come in here. And if you're using ChatGPT, by the way, type this in the chat because this is what I ask in front of you. How many of you are paying for ChatGPT and would love to download all the knowledge that ChatGPT has on you and then upload it with the click of a button right here so that your AI team knows exactly who you are in 60 seconds or less, right? So boom, you can do a quick or a full import. So you train it in a matter of seconds. Number 2, look how easy it is to add an email account. So I come in here and I would just click on this and one button later, it would now have my email account added. Now I've already done mine. So it's already got my personal and my business emails. Right. And I have to keep up with these normally, but now my AI is reading all my emails. If you're a Microsoft user, guess what? Same thing. Click a button, connect your accounts. If you're Apple, Fastmail, or custom calendars, guess what? You can do it right here. If you're using something like Telegram or Slack and soon to be WhatsApp and Signal, guess what? It can read all your messages. Now, I have Slacks for every one of my businesses. I can't keep up with one of them, much less multiple businesses and all the Slacks, all the emails, all the telegrams. So if I used Operaly for nothing else but this, it would be worth its weight in gold. Okay. But you can also connect it to anything that Zapier can connect to. 7,000 other tools like your CRMs, like Go High Level and HubSpot, it can connect to it or through webhooks or API keys. So the opportunity to make this your centralized AI is unlimited. You can connect it to anything and you can run your life and your business from one place. No more hopping from this app to that app to this app. Okay. So then the next coolest feature that I show people is I say, I'm going to show you your team next because it's cool to have one AI and then I pull out and I show them something. I'm going to show you what I call an army of agents. And this is the future of all of our businesses. If you run a business, You're not going to just have one AI. You're going to have an army of AI agents that are working for you. Now, I've been sharing this in front of the room for 4 years and telling people that, yeah, you can use your LLM, but there's going to be a time very soon where you're going to have an org chart that looks something like this. You're going to have what? An executive director agent. That executive director agent is going to oversee your managers. Okay, so here's an example right here, a communication manager. So the executive oversees the communication manager, and then the communication manager oversees each of the task specific agents, like a Slack agent, like a calendar agent, like an email agent, like a LinkedIn, a WhatsApp, a voice agent, like a CRM agent. Can you guys start to see a Notion agent? Can you start to see how every single entrepreneur, every employee in the very near future is not going to just come do their job, but they're going to come in and they're going to have an army of agents that are already trained on their business and trained on specific tasks. Can you see how much greater impact you're going to be able to make when you have an army of agents working for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? They don't call in sick. They don't ask for a raise. They don't sit around the water cooler and do nothing. They work for you so that you can enjoy your life and you can make a greater impact. Is this making sense? Everybody following along so far? Does everybody see where I'm taking people on this incredible journey? And in a moment, I'm going to show you how verticals like realtors and insurance and network marketers and then just general entrepreneurs are starting to realize, wait a minute, not only can I use this, but I can share this with other people. And I can, number one, start earning an affiliate override and get mine for free. Or number two, maybe I can own a whole industry. Maybe I could be the person to bring it to the 2.1 million real estate agents that are overwhelmed and overworked. And I'm going to show you an example of one of our real estate agents who said that's what he wants to do. And he built 15 agents that are running his business. He did it in the first 3 days of setting up Operaly. And he's like, dude, this is saving me so much time. So don't just think about the impact that it can have for you, but the impact that you can have across multiple verticals. Okay. So this is what I've been sharing from the front of the room. I'll take you back into Operaly now, because I get more and more excited every day about this. It's mind blowing. And I'm going to show you some of the things that I've done mine, had it set up for me. Okay. So question for you, type this into the chat. Now that I've shown you how it integrates, how many of you have ever come into a video meeting, like you've come into an R-Link, or you've come into a live meeting and you didn't know the person that you were talking to? In other words, they're brand new to you. They maybe were a prospect or maybe a joint venture conversation. Well, I have back-to-back meetings like that all week. I know every president, every CEO does. And think about this. It hit me the other day. This is a couple of weeks ago. I went, if I was the president of the United States, I would never show up to a meeting and not have a full dossier from my chief of staff on every single person I'm going to talk to. And so here's what I did. I actually told Operaly on the fly. I just told Operaly, from now, I said, I want you to create an agent. Okay, watch. I'm going to create an agent next, but I'm going to show you what I've already done. I'm going to have it create an agent, but I would tell it, create an agent and read my calendar every morning. And then it would build a full dossier on every single person I have meetings with. So it's been doing this for me for the last 2 weeks. And I'm going to show this to you. I'm going to say, pull up the dossiers you've built for me in the last few weeks. So every single meeting I come into now, I have these dossiers that are built, and I'm going to show you one because you can set this up. You should never show up to a meeting without understanding who are you talking to, what's their background, and why are you talking? Okay, so I'll just pick one of these. All right, so let's go to Allison Maslin, right? Allison's the CEO of Pinnacle Global Network. She's out of San Diego, gives me an executive summary, tells me she's a serial entrepreneur, the books that she wrote, the honors, top 10 women entrepreneurs. She's a dear friend of mine. She's a mastermind leader. Here's her areas of expertise. Here's the synergy with Impact CEOs. By the way, you'd put your companies in there, whatever it is. And so imagine walking into every meeting And here's what's cool. Not only does it build a dossier, it was smart enough to build a folder called CRM. And inside that, it built this. I didn't tell it to. It built dossiers on all these people. So I have a permanent record now. Now imagine I do my R-Link with the one or more people. Imagine when R-Link is synced with Operaly and the transcripts from our conversation and the notes from that now come back and update these dossiers. All right. So JJ Virgin, an expert in the health area, gives me their LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Substack, right? I can now slide into a meeting 60 seconds before a meeting, read this and know exactly what I'm doing. Okay. Does this make sense? Does everybody follow? Right? This is such an intelligent system and it can save you so much time. So it reads your emails, can draft auto replies. It knows your calendar. It can update it just by talking to it. It can build dossiers on anybody. And now the coolest part, the thing that I love the most is that you can actually create agents to do whatever you want. And I'm going to create one with you right now. So when you come over here to team, there's two parts to this. The actual agents. Now, this is my army of agents. These are ones, some of them come pre-populated, and then some of them we can create. I'm going to show you. We'll create one in just a second here. Okay. So here's the agents that I've already created and some that were preloaded. And then these agents can be assigned to the second piece here called knowledge bases. So you can have one knowledge base that's about your company. Or you can have a knowledge base for each of your companies, and you can assign agents to those knowledge bases. So if I look at this, for example, I've got Operaly AI. How easy is it to build a knowledge base? Well, you upload content or you link documents. And now whatever I click on and I link it, that agent knows that content. Right? So your knowledge bases, think of it like you've got this digital brain where Operaly is learning everything about you. It's private and secure. I know somebody's going to ask about security, so we'll do that in a minute. But you've also got these subsets called knowledge bases. And the knowledge bases is where you put one or more companies and all the data that's in there. So let's look at some of these AI agents, okay? And let's go ahead and just create one, because this is one of the coolest things people love. I go, let's create a team member right now, okay? So let's create a lead gen Larry, okay? We're going to name it. Now, let's create the expertise. This is in cold lead generation of network marketers. Okay, so let's say I was targeting network marketers, or I could target residential real estate agents, or commercial real estate agents, or insurance agents, or automobile, whatever, fill in the blank, right? But I want a cold lead generation of these guys. I want my AI to be reaching out. So obviously it's got to be good at content creation, market research, and probably communication. Okay. And then now I hit next step. So what do I want communication? I usually leave it as balanced, but I go, yeah, I want it to be friendly, professional, and direct. Sounds good. Communication do's and don'ts. What do I want it to do? I want it to use clear examples. Okay. And what do I not want it to do? I want it to avoid jargon and don't hallucinate. Oh, you know what? I can talk this through. Don't hallucinate or make things up. I want you to have accurate data. Okay, so now I've trained it. And the last piece is who's the target audience, right? So I already said that I wanted to look for network marketers. Okay, so that's simple. All right, so now what happens is typically if you're building an AI agent, you would have to write the prompt. But what's amazing is that Kim and the team said, you know what? Let's do it for them. So you click this generate instructions. By the way, it takes me 30 to 60 seconds max to do this. It takes me longer to talk it. So in real time, lead gen Larry is being created. A prompt is being written that I can use or I can edit. So let me zoom in and check out how cool this is. Okay, so it's given its identity. You're a seasoned pro and veteran strategist specializing in cold lead gen specifically for the network marketing industry. Your mission is to help network marketers identify, attract, and convert high quality cold prospects into active leads and team members. You bring decades of experience in high performance sales, digital marketing, relationship building. I didn't tell it any of that. It was smart enough to prompt it, right? What is it good at? content creation, high converting scripts, social media hooks, lead magnets, and educational content that positions network marketers as authorities. How many of you would like that, right? Market research, target demographics, competitor strategies, strategic communication. Don't feel salesy or aggressive. What's the tone and style? So it's built this. Now I could just use this, which is what we're going to do, or I could edit it, or I could completely replace it. It's that fast and simple. And guess what? Larry, the lead generator, is now an active agent that's working for me. Okay. So I've created this one a couple of times, you can see. And if I want to get rid of it, boom, I just dump it. But Larry, the lead generator, is now working for me. So how do I use Larry, the lead generator? Well, I come back here and I open up a tab and I drop down. You see, it's already got Larry, the lead generator. Normally it defaults to executive assistant, but I could go choose any of it. It's got Larry, the lead generator. And I'm going to say, build me a list of prospects here in Dorado Beach or San Juan. PR. I'm not even going to say Puerto Rico. So now Larry's going to start his job. He's going to start building me that list. Now, if I wanted to, I could just voice this, but I'm visually showing you how to do it. And I could have voiced this and said, hey, set up a lead generator agent for network marketing. I want you to run this every day at 6 a.m. so that I wake up to a list of people to talk to. And I want you to build the outbound campaign. And I want you to monitor my inbox for the follow-up. Okay. So what's cool is every time it does this, it actually saves that list. Okay. So here we go. Right now, tech, healthcare, innovation. So this is doing companies. And I would go back and say, I want the names of each of the individuals. So let me go back here to the chat. Give me a list of names of individuals and influencers in MLM, not company names. All right. So you just talk to it like you would any AI, and now this thing is working for you. So let me give you one more example that I use that has saved me a ton of time. So I have 11 thought leaders in the AI space. Okay. 11 thought leaders. And what I was doing before is I was researching. Here we go. Eric Worre. Okay. By the way, I was at Eric Worre's house yesterday with Tony and with Josh Denny and his wife, Maddie. And we were sitting down with Eric Worre at his house in Vegas yesterday. So interesting that it pulled that up, right? So it's got the top leaders list. I can draft campaigns, et cetera, et cetera. So no matter what vertical you're going after, what business you're in, it can start helping you with your prospecting, your follow-up. It's an incredible tool. But let me go back to this piece. So I have an AI agent that every Sunday night, it goes through 11 channels. What are the 11 YouTube channels you're monitoring for me? Now think about this. How much time would it take me to go through Greg Eisenberg's and Dan Martell's and all these guys' YouTube channels, pull the best content out that they're talking about AI, pull the transcripts, feed that into an AI, and then figure out what the top things are that they're talking about in AI? Guess what? I built an agent that runs every week. You can do it every day if you want to, but mine once a week. So I come in Monday morning to a content debrief. It's already scrubbed the 11 channels. Okay. But you can see some of the things that I'm looking at. What's cool is that it's taking the best content from them. It's figuring out what are they talking about, but then it also was smart enough to go, I'm going to also tell you what they're not talking about that you should be. So as a thought leader, an influencer, right? You want to not only talk what other people are talking about, but you want to talk about what they're not talking about. You want to differentiate. So that has saved me a ton of time. The dossiers has saved me a ton of time. My calendar and email management, my Slacks saved me a ton of time. But here's one more cool thing, and then we'll wrap this up and turn it back. How many of you use Canva or Gamma, or you use Claude or ChatGPT to create images or slideshows or videos or your social posts, your blog articles? Well, guess what? This can do it for you. It's super simple. If I want to create an image, I'd literally come in here. I can choose, or it just defaults to Nano Banana Pro or OpenAI, right? It's going to save it into an image folder. You can choose the size ratio, and it does a really good job of remixing. So I'll go create an image of the sphere in Las Vegas with something cute on it. Let's see what it comes up with. I haven't done this one, but let's see what it does here. Oops, I think I've got to shrink this down. There we go. So it's going to generate the image. Now, in a second, I'm going to take you up to the library and I'm just going to show you examples I've already done because it might take 30 seconds or 60 seconds to create this image. But here's what's cool. I don't have to go to another outside thing. I don't have to hop to another app. And for those entrepreneurs who get it, this is one of the most powerful things. Everything they need to automate their business, to do their social media. Oh, check this out. How cool is that? Is that pretty cool or what? Hit the button if you like that, right? Within seconds. Now, where's all this stored? Well, all my images are in here. So as a matter of fact, the first one I did, and I want to explain something. How many of you, type into the chat, how many of you have used an image generator and then you've tried to change something? So I put in this thing, do an image of a guy relaxing on the beach in Puerto Rico after a great surf session. Look at this. It actually picked the best surf spot in Puerto Rico, Rincon. It also put in a local beer called Madala, and it put a Surf Puerto Rico sticker on the board. Now, if you've ever tried to change something in an image inside of an AI generator, it always changes everything you didn't want it to change. It's the weirdest thing. Even if you say, don't change anything, just change this, they always mess it up. Well, look at this. The first time I tried it, I said, hey, let's do this same guy, keep everything the same, but make his hair shorter and his face less scruffy. Look at that. It was perfect. It was perfect. That saves so much time and frustration, right? So then I had to do jets in Puerto Rico. I was using it to change background colors. I put Elon Musk on a rocket, like fun stuff. I thought I looked like that. My wife says, you do not. I do not have that six pack. I'm like, okay, honey, thanks a lot. Right? You can see I created some sphere stuff. I even, in the room, Bill Walsh was telling everybody should have a book. He goes, every single one of you should have a book in here, right? I went ahead and created my book cover while I was in the room using Operaly. I walked up on stage and I go, how many of you did your book yet? And they're like, no. And I go, I did it while I was sitting here using Operaly. That was the opening. And I did 2 book covers and had them vote, right? How cool is that? So images are really cool. Videos are awesome. Check this out. I'm just going to show this. It will probably give a weird feedback because of our link and me and the microphone. But I literally said, help me create a funny video ad for Operaly that features our trademarked stop app hopping. Watch what it created. It used Sora 2 to do this. Right? Super simple prompt. I mean, it was so cool. I'll do one more. How cool is that? You can literally create videos. You can create slideshows. Super simple. You can create pictures, right? Boom, Manus AI, whatever you want to do. This is beautiful slide decks that I created with a very simple prompt, right? Look at this. These are incredibly fast, incredibly easy. Now, this is all amazing. And what's cool is you can actually do this and you can put this kind of social media out, right? You can do images, slideshows. You can do your social posts, Instagram, Facebook, and X. It automatically formats it. You can do the visual style, the trends. You can have it build SEO content, blog content to position you as an expert in whatever field you want. This is all incredible tools. And each one of these things you would be paying for separately. What's amazing about Operaly is all built in, and the tools get better and better. The AI behind this, I remember just a week ago, we had like 51 AI subscriptions behind this. Now there's over 100 AIs in this. It's incredible how much value people are getting for $50 to $200 a month. And if you love it and you want to share it, all you have to do is click on the referrals, grab your link, and share it out. So you could use Operaly to sell Operaly and give you an incredible passive income and build more and more people. And what's great for those of you who are in Rally and our link, when you do this and you share it out with people, when they set up an Operaly account, if they don't already have one, it automatically creates a wallet and an account for them. And Kim, you can correct me. I know it creates the account. Maybe it doesn't create the wallet, but you'll have to correct me on that if I.
Just an account, but it just depends on whether they don't know if they're not a regular affiliate. So we're just keeping that on the down low.
Yeah. Right. So it's super quiet. So guys, gals, that's the quick thing. I'm going to show you the one last thing because some of our users have gotten so excited. Remember, I said that Christian, who's one of our realtors down here in Puerto Rico that we use, he got on this, and in the first couple of days, he shot me a video. We don't have time to play the video right now; it's only 3 minutes, but he created a stack of agents. Check this out. He came back to me and he goes, dude, this is unbelievable. He goes, I'm a one-person show. I've been in real estate for 30 years. I've never seen a technology come into our industry that makes it this simple. He goes, I created all these agents and now it's running my business. He sells ultra luxury homes down here. He's like, I've got my executive assistant. I've got my inventory agent. He goes, this one agent is saving me 45 minutes a day. Down here in Puerto Rico, he was looking at the MLS, pulling data. He was going to Zillow, pulling data. And then there's one called Classified Aficionado or something like that. He was having to go to 3 different places to build his listings. He goes, now, not only is it going and getting that for me every day automatically, but it's formatting it in a high quality, graphically designed, branded luxury home format. He goes, because all of us agents are selling the same homes, right? He goes, but now mine's done automatically for me. And it's beautiful. He goes, it's separating me from everybody else, right? He also talks to Operaly after he gets out of a listing and he says, hey, I just got out of my listing. He didn't even have to say who he was with, but he goes, here's the things I want you to note for them. So he's got profiles built on all his customers, his prospects, and his customers. He's now using it for social media to create his viral hooks. He's using it for the home framework and listing, a lead magnet, a scheduling agent, right? Managing schedules, travel, neighborhood, hyper local search. This is one of the things that's really cool. He's got an agent now that's just focused on the Dorado Beach area. It's ultra wealthy people here. And he knows, he told me this. He goes, I loaded up a list of my clients, people who bought homes, these ultra high net worth individuals here. I had it build an avatar of my ideal client and then build the social media to go attract those Act 60 clients for me. Think about that. He sells one home at $20 million. And if he makes 3% on that, what is that? $600,000? He's got an agent doing this for $50 a month. I think he's already at the $200 a month because he's built out all these different things. He's got a referral manager. He gets emails all the time, people saying, hey, let's partner together. He's got an agent that's now reading his inbox and auto replying so he doesn't miss it. All right. And then he's starting to work on his CRM to sync everything. So my friends, that's what I've been sharing with everybody. There's so many more use cases for this. The dossier is incredible. I love it. The research, YouTube, and the content creation, the lead generation, right? All of these things. And so as we add more and more capabilities to it, meaning we connect it to WhatsApp and Signal and all this, your brain, your AI is going to get smarter and smarter at understanding you and your goals. I didn't go into some of the features. I want to leave some stuff for later, but those are the things that when I'm in front of the room and I'm sharing it, literally has people lined up going, how do I get started? And can I take it to this vertical? Can I white label this or can I just take it to this vertical? So we've already got some high level players that are like, I have 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 people, 100,000 people in my community paying me for other things. I want to white label this and give it to them. I want to bring this into my MLM. I want to bring this into my real estate company. As a matter of fact, we have the vice president of a major real estate company that saw the presentation that I did and is now wanting to get the higher ups in that major, they're one of the major 7s, to talk about white labeling it for their whole thing. So we're talking about millions and millions of people who run small businesses that can now get rid of the overwhelm, the digital overwhelm, and start to scale their businesses, but also maintain a quality of life. So Darren, I know I took a lot of time there, but that's the presentation I've been doing. Hopefully that was helpful.